Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Niklix. In this video, I am going to tell you how to implement validations with the help of request class in Laravel 8. So in my earlier videos, I have implemented the validation with the help of validate function in controller, but now we are going to implement our validations with the help of request class. So in order to implement validation with the help of request class, let's start what to make. So first of all, I need to create a form. I will be creating a route, so I can specify here as route get. So I can just create here the create URL, and create URL will be taking me to create controller, the I controller create method, create form method. So here it is going to take me to create form method in I controller. So here I have been created a root. So now moving to my I controller create form, I public function create form, and here I'm going to say it will be rendering me a view, return view, that will be create form, create user form. So I need to create a view that should be saved in my resources views, and I have given here as create user form dot blade dot php. So create user form dot blade dot php. So here I'm going to make a form in which I will be implementing my validation. So form method should be post, and its action should be to one of its URL, that is I can specify here as a URL as create, we can say here as validate f, validate f, let it be the URL. So I'm going to make a table over here, and I am doing just it in the fast track so that a time should be saved. So input type text name equals to name, and I can say here as email. So input type text, and you can say name equals to email. Right. So moving to the next part, I can just make a submit button over here. I can just go it with call span 2 and input type submit name equals to save, and I can just leave it as it is. So the create URL will be taking me to the create form in iController, and it will be rendering my create user form. So let's try what we have done till now. So I'm going to just make a create, and there is some error. I think I have not implemented the semicolon over here. So here my forms comes. So this is my form that has been displayed with the help of create user form, and now I'm going to implement its URL method validate f. So as a form method is post, so I need to create a more route over here, the post route, and here I am going to implement the URL as validate f, and it is going to take me to a iController validate form. So in the iController, I am going to declare a method with the validate form, and so now here comes the action that I want to. Earlier what I need to do here is I just write here as a request, and I was declaring a request object over here, and all the form data is coming in this request object. But now what I am going to do here, I am not going to validate here in my controller. I need to validate all my form data with the help of request class. So I will not write here request. So first of all, let's create the uh, request class. So in order to create a request class, I need to open the command prompt, and in the command prompt, I need to open my working folder, that is C drive, XAMPP, htdocs, my second project. I need to just open this URL over here, and now I'm going to type my command php artisan make, then a single colon, so request, let it be store user. So php artisan make request store user, we can just create, have to press enter after this. So there is an error that is showing me some parse error, and it's web.php on the line number 56. So let's check my web.php file on the line number 56. So this is, here the error comes. I always forget to put a semicolon. So by putting a semicolon, now I am going to implement the same command php artisan make request store user. So now call to undefined function post. So now what's the error is, okay, call to undefined function post. Oh, I forgot to put a double colon over here. So I have put a double colon here. So again I'm going to just build up my command php artisan make request store user. So now the request created successfully, and we can say here as my the store user request is being created. So if I now want to check where it is, so in the app folder in your http folder, there comes a folder of request. So in the request folder, there is a file which I have created over here, the store user. So store user.php file is being created, and if I'm going to open this, it contains the by default coding that is being written. And in this coding, we have a store user class that is extending your form request and the authorize function and the rules. So here comes the matter of the function rules. So I need to pass some rules over here. So by passing some rules, I need to check, or cross check with my form variables. Like I have a input type text name as name and email as email. So I need to create a rule over here. So here I am going to write here as name. So this is basically the validation which we are going to perform. So name equals to, I can specify here as required, comma, and another is my email. The name is email, so I am going to specify here as email, and again I am going to specify here as required. So these are the rules which I have been made, and now my store user class is being generated, and I have specified its uh, its rules, as if name is empty, then it is going to check the required upon name, it is going to check that it should not be empty, and on the email it should also be checking that it should be not be empty. So this is the rules that I have created in my store user class. So moving back to my I controller, I need to first of all include the store user file in my controller. So how it can be included? I need to go at the top of this, the same way which by which I have implemented my request class. I need to implement my request slash store user. So right now it's not the Illuminate folder, so I have to go in the app folder. In the app folder there is http, and request is my the further folder, and in the request there exists a file called store user.php, so that I have used. So store user.php is having a class of store user, so I need to implement now in the case, as compared to earlier that we used a request over here. So in case of request I need to use the class name as store user, and now I am going to check as request, it's the object that whichever you want variable to be taken you can take. And here is my the form. After submitting this form, it is going to take me to this validate form function, and in this store user basically is a request class that I have been created, the validation request class that I have been created. So whatever the data it is going to receive, it is going to check that if name and email is having a value. So if name and email is having a value, then only it is going to execute all the lines in my controller function. Otherwise it is going to give me a message, and so now I need to return my form back onto that particular page. So I need to I need to write here as return back. And in my form, in the create user form, I need to implement here the methods like table row, table data. To this, I can say here as call span 2. And in this, I'm going to implement as if errors is a inbuilt, you can say, object that is receiving all the errors. So if error has name, then it is going to display me the errors first name. And same will be in the case of email. I forgot to put an end if over here. So at the rate and if, and also I need to put here the curly brackets. So I need to copy this, and I will put same in the case of my email. So email, and now the email. So in this way my messages will be displayed if name and email would be empty. So I'm going to just refresh this. So refreshing this, and if I'm going to submit this, validate f, it's showing me the page expired. Let's look into the matter what it has been saying. It's web.php. By putting a post, it is going to take me to validate f, and validate f will be taking me to controllers I controller validate form. And I'm going to cross verify that if my validate form is been the same word. So after submitting the form, I'm encountered with the error as 419 page expired. So let's find out if there is something what is wrong in our request. So I have not written the token over here, so I'm going to write my token, that is CSRF underscore field, and now I can just submit the same error. The action is unauthorized. So moving to my web, it's looking fine. Then controller, it's also looking fine, and the form is also looking great. Then the store user. Here we have defined the name and email. Oh, there is one thing that I need to that I forgot to tell you earlier, when we have created a store user class, that by default when the class is being created, its function authorized is returned to false. So whenever the function authorized is returned to false, this store user is not been implemented in our project. So in order to use this store user.php file, this request file into my this controller, you need to return its authorized method as true. So you need to return its authorized method as true. So if I am going to submit it now, like if I'm going to click on a submit method, so here my message came that name field is required and the email field is required. So moving to this part, I'm going to explain you all the steps in one shot. Like first of all, I need to create a URL. So create URL is going to take me to this iController create form. So create form is the form is being loaded. So the form is just giving taking me to the action validate F. So validate F will be taking me to validate form. So iController validate form. So in this validate form, I need to import, I need to give my the store user the request class which I have been made, and in this request class we have just put up rules that the name is required and the email is required. Name and email are the names of my form that I have given over here, and whatever error you want to show, you can just put here in this, that if errors is the inbuilt class. If error has name, then error first name will be printed and the email will be printed. So here if I'm going to submit this, the name field is required and the email field is required, it is going to give me this message because I have specified here as required. So now if I want to attach one more validation over here, that I need to use a pipe sign and I need to stay here as email. So it will also be checking my email also. And if you want that you want to put your some custom message over there, like right now it's saying the name field is required, the email field is required. I need to create a function over here, public function messages, and in the messages I need to return here the message which I want to print. For that I need to make a return, and the name field if required is not, if it is empty, it is going to give me a message, please enter your name. And same in the case of this email, the password. So password dot required, it is going to uh, it's my email. So email dot required, it is going to say your please enter your email. And here I have to put a comma in order to like differentiate these both values. So now I'm going to refresh this. So submit. So now it's showing me the custom message which I have entered over here. So please enter your name and please enter your email. So this was all about the validation with the help of request class. And if you don't forget to subscribe my channel, do subscribe my channel for getting all the latest updates of Laravel 8 tutorial. I hope you like my videos. If you like my videos, do like and share my channel. Thanks for watching my video.